You're not tired, you're just giving up. You call it fatigue. You say, I need a break. I'm burned out. I can't do this anymore. But deep down, you know it's not fatigue. It's refusal. Voluntary surrender under the guise of self-care. Real fatigue is when you go all the way until your muscles burn, your hands shake, and your consciousness clings to every second. What you call fatigue is the moment when it became difficult and you decided that it was easier to step aside than to continue. The problem is not that you don't have the strength. The problem is that you are not used to going through discomfort. You grew up believing that as soon as things got tough, you had to stop. Otherwise, it will get worse. But that's not how you toughen up, that's how you rust. You say, I'm exhausted, I have no energy. But you have the energy to scroll through your feed for hours, watch television shows, and argue in the comments. Am I right? You don't lack energy, you lack determination. You've simply chosen a convenient explanation that sounds convincing enough to avoid feeling guilty. You confuse comfort with recovery. A break after hard work is useful, but for you, it turns into a permanent rest mode. A day or two and you don't return to the task because your body gets used to the easy way. It's like warming up by the fire and then refusing to go further into the cold because it's too comfortable to sit there. Also, you only work when you feel like it. If your actions depend on inspiration, forget about consistent results. Real work begins precisely when you don't want to do it. Anyone can be productive when they feel like it, but it is the ability to work in a state of internal resistance that separates effective people from those who just dream. You are afraid to admit that the reason lies within you. It's easier to say, the situation is complicated. I don't have the right conditions. Now is not the time. This relieves you of responsibility. But every time you blame circumstances, you are effectively giving control of your life to external forces. And the longer you do this, the weaker your ability to act independently becomes. You don't have a clear work system. You think you're tired because your work is difficult. But often the reason is chaos. You don't have clear priorities. You don't have a clear plan. You jump from task to task, burning yourself out with endless trifles. A clear work structure not only increases efficiency, but also reduces the psychological feeling of fatigue because you always know why you are taking each step. You are waiting for things to get easier. One of the most dangerous myths is you just have to be patient and things will get easier. Number, if you grow and develop, it will only get harder. There will be bigger tasks, more responsibility, higher demands, and if you give up now at an easy level, you simply won't be able to handle the next step. Your standards are too low. You may think you're working hard enough when you compare yourself to those who do nothing at all, but try comparing yourself to those who are already where you want to be. Most likely, you'll realize that your fatigue is their warm-up. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who give up on them is not in resources, talent, or even circumstances. The difference is in the willingness to continue when comfort disappears. Your excuses are beautifully packaged forms of surrender. I'll wait for the right moment. Now is not the time. I need to recover. I need to solve other problems first. But the truth is that the moment will not get easier. The problems will not disappear. And your strength will not return on its own. You either move forward through resistance or you watch others move forward. You think that stopping is temporary, but the longer you stand still, the harder it is to get back into motion. The pause becomes a habit, and the habit becomes a lifestyle where any effort is perceived as an unbearable burden. You call it self-care, but in reality, it's caring for your fear. You give it food and shelter, and it grows until it takes up all your space. And then you start to believe that you are that fear, and that it is impossible to act. Remember, fatigue passes, but the habit of giving up remains. The pain of effort is temporary. The pain of failure is forever. You can be slow, you can make mistakes, you can feel your way, but keep going. Every time you want to give up, ask yourself, is this really the limit of my abilities? Or is it the limit of my willingness to endure discomfort? In 9 out of 10 cases, you will realize that you just don't want to face difficulties. You're not tired, you're just giving up. And while you choose comfort over movement, someone else chooses movement over comfort. And in the end, it is they who will achieve the result you dreamed of. So what should you do? Remember that everyone is different, but here is the basic plan you should follow immediately after reading this. Step 1. Admit that the problem is not fatigue. Stop covering up your refusal to act with words like burned out or not in the mood. While you're making excuses, your brain is convincing itself that stopping is normal. Step 2. Remove unnecessary distractions. Limit your access to distractions. Social media, news, pointless conversations. Leave yourself minimal escape routes so that the only obvious option is to move forward. Step 3. Set a minimum standard of action. Don't try to give 100% right away. Do the minimum, but do it every day. 1 paragraph of text, 10 minutes of exercise, 1 important phone call. The main thing is to avoid having a 0 day. Step 4. Make discomfort a habit. Look for tasks that are slightly outside your comfort zone. The more often you go there, the less fear will control your decisions. Step 5. Track your progress, not your mood. Don't ask yourself, do I want to do this? Ask yourself, did I take a step today? Moods are fickle, but progress is measured by actions. Step 6. Close the question of choice. Decide once and for all that you are going to do it and stop negotiating with yourself every day. Every morning should not be a vote, just the execution of a decision. Conclusion. You don't need a surge of motivation to get back on track. You need rhythm, discipline, and the habit of continuing even when you want to stop. This is the only way to break the pattern of I'm tired, so I'm quitting. Only this. If you still believe you're just taking a break, here's the truth. Every day you stand still, you're losing speed, not maintaining it. The skill you're avoiding decays faster than you think. Your tolerance for discomfort shrinks, making even small challenges feel impossible. The gap between you and those who kept going becomes a canyon you can't jump. In a year, you won't just be where you are now, you'll be falling behind. Your competitors will turn small daily actions into powerful momentum, and you will turn hesitation into your identity. At some point, you won't even remember what it's like to move forward. This is true burnout, not physical, but existential. You will stop abandoning individual projects and start abandoning yourself completely. So pull yourself together.